Hello. Derick and I are here tonight doing a little preseason panic video for you guys. We're going to talk about the MLS Cup. We're going to talk about, Paul leaving the team, maybe a little bit of free agent speculation or who we would like to see from designated players, and that'll be about it. So, I'll just open up. We'll do the MLS Cup first. Personally, I'm really happy that Portland won. I fucking hate Columbus. Their fans come here and are trashy, and then they go on social media and they talk about, oh, throwing beers, you guys did it to us. It's like, you're a bunch of fucking wankers, Columbus. But, I'm glad Portland won. I think they're the more deserving organization. I think that, they came up through USL, like 4 or 5 years back. And, it's good to see that can happen. It could be kind of like a blueprint for us because, we just came up through USL. And, and obviously our aspirations are the same. So, that's my general sentiments.
Say nothing made me happier watching the MLS Cup than watching Steve Clark fuck up in the first 30 seconds of the game, giving Valeri his goal, and then watching I think it was Wallace put a second in 6 minutes into the game. You're at home and you're down 2-0 6 minutes into the game in an MLS Cup. Oh well, it's safe to say Columbus didn't show up. I mean, Kai Kamara scored maybe 12 minutes after Portland's second, but even that took a bunch of deflections on his way to Kamara.
And I just wanted to talk about this with Derick a little bit for you guys. And what would you think about a 2-leg MLS Cup final? Because they do 2 legs everywhere, all the other ones, and then they just play the 1 leg. And I saw Paul Tenorio even propose, we should push it back to the first week because the only football game on is Army-Navy. And I thought that was good, but I would like to see a home and away in the final. What about you?
I think it would be a decent idea. I mean, I like the fact that the better team gets to host it. I mean, you play all year just to earn the right to potentially host an MLS Cup final, and that's what I like about the 1-game series. It makes it harder on the away team. The away team usually doesn't win. That's the thing. It's like you played well enough this year to earn an MLS Cup final at home. And, well, Columbus fucked that up.
Yep, and that's all right. So, that's pretty much, I think, the overall Orlando fan sentiment about the Cup.
Columbus.
Yeah,
Columbus.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes Columbus around here, at least very few people. I mean, I don't know anybody personally who likes
if you
Columbus.
like Columbus, I-4 west towards Tampa is where you need to go.
I think he's implying that you would be a rowdy.
Would be a rowdy.
Anyway, so we have free agency. Today is the 13th. I think it opened on the 10th, right?
Yes, MLS free agency's been open for a few days.
And we passed on that little draft that everyone passes on. And I just took a quick glance at the free agent pool, and nobody really stood out to me. I mean, I wasn't really impressed with the list. I think we need a central defender. I think we could use a little, maybe not. I think we maybe could use a depth on the wing. I mean, I'm excited to see Winter and Molino. I know Molino will be the starter, but I think Winter's a good depth piece. And then on the left, we can move Shea up if we need to. But I think that's Rivas' spot moving forward. So just what about the free agent list? And is there anybody that excites you?
I mean, the thing about MLS free agency is that, the players wanted it, MLS really didn't want it in. They ended up agreeing to some BS where you needed to be 28 years old with 8 years of MLS service. And that led to a very, very poor list of MLS free agents. I mean,
I think, Jovel Jones is on there.
I
mean, he played for Chicago.
I'm looking over this list, and half of it's Chicago and Colorado, which, surprise, surprise, were the 2 worst teams in MLS this year.
And I mean, some of the guys on Colorado could be decent defensively. Their issue is more just scoring goals. And the shout out to Sean St. Ledger. He got a contract from Colorado. So
how?
Yeah, they picked up somebody who we had problems with. So good luck with that.
I give him 6 weeks before he gets masteronied and shoved on the bench for 8 weeks.
Yep. So, anyways, I mean, there's a free agent just is not that impressive. So, and now this leads to, you got anything else about free agency you want to move on?
I mean, there's a few free agents on here I feel would be good depth pieces, and giving our goalkeeping issues at the moment. John Bush may be a good option. He's a MLS veteran, unless they want to go overseas for that. But I was looking at like John Bush and Dan Kennedy. Those are MLS veterans, quality goalkeepers, defenders. Really, the only one who struck out to me was Drew Moore. I mean, James Raley can be a depth piece at right back. I don't like Harrington, and Burling's a red card machine. Midfielder, wow. That's
we don't need anybody off that list midfielder-wise.
Outside of Justin Mapp, who I think is really good, and he broke his arm like third week of the year. That list is shit. And the forwards just a bunch of backups to Kyle Larin.
Yeah. So, I don't think that we're gonna, maybe we'll snag one of these guys at the end. I think that maybe somebody who's left over on the list after the list weans out. I think we should, in my opinion, we're gonna try for a pretty big designated player. We got some cash. We should have a designated player spot open. I think we only have 3 right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we paid down. Either Rivas or Roches or both. I don't think we'll pay both down, but we could very easily pay one of them down.
I'm pretty sure we're paying down one of them at least, and if it's going to be one, it's going to be Roches.
Yeah.
Because I see Rivas as a key piece to the team next year on the left wing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think that left side will be really strong next year with Breck Shea at left back and Rivas moving forward. I think we're going to get a lot of production out of the left side next year.
I mean, we had a lot of combinations on the left side, and yet they all just seemed to play well. We had Bowden and Shea. We had Ash and Bowden at one point.
Which he worked out good, too. Bowden got a goal, yeah.
Just about any combination of Carlos Rivas, Breck Shea, Corey Ash, and Luke Bowden, they probably played it last year. And left side was pretty good. I mean,
the right side left some to be desired.
Yeah, Adrian Venter was like...
He was... I mean, we talked about it in the end of the season recap video. I thought that, the transfer window was just managed poorly. We should have... I don't think Winter's a forever piece. I mean, I don't even see Winter playing barring an injury again next year.
That and Mateos is slower than molasses.
Yeah. So the window is going to open in January, and we'll be able to pick up somebody. In my hope, I hope we go out and get a defender, a big defender, somebody with a big physical presence. That I know. We brought Mateos, but he's big, but he's just not skilled, and he's not that fast. He's not fast at all. So, I think that we could definitely improve there. And I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing somebody young and big, and if we got to pay for that, I'm happy to if that happens.
I say, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you've known that I've called out for a DP or a TAM defender for quite a while now. And if you saw Portland play in the MLS Cup, Liam Ridgewell is a DP defender. Nat Borchers is probably the best non-DP defender in MLS. Oh shit, they won MLS Cup. You need to have good center defenders in MLS, especially when you got Kai Kamara who can head him with the best.
And I know that the West is typically the stronger conference, but offensively the East was really strong this year. With the likes of the Red Bulls were pulling players that I've never even heard of, and they were putting up double-digit goals. And Toronto obviously has a bunch of firepower with Jervinko if he stays. And
I'm looking at these goal totals. New York was 62, Columbus has 58, Montreal had 48, but most of that was before Drogba. DC United wasn't a good offensive team.
No.
New England had 48.
Yeah.
Toronto had 58.
Yeah.
We had 46.
So there's a bunch of firepower in the East that we need to stop down. And the other place that I think we could... Well, I don't want to speculate, but if who do you think that we would see coming in if we brought in a DP defender? Like, who would your, I guess, ideal but realistic person be?
There's really no names I can think of on the top of my head right now. Hopefully someone that has overseas experience, probably maybe a lower first tier, like maybe Germany or like English championship type of,
like Tyrone Mings.
Liam Ridgewell played Wigan or Aston Villa?
I think he was on Aston Villa.
Either way, he was on one of the lower tier Premier League teams, and he comes in and he's a DP defender in MLS, winning MLS Cup in his second season. You don't need to get these John Terry type DP defenders. You just need to get someone who could play the game, knows their positioning, and can stop Jovinko.
And then what and stop Javinko, exactly. And then the other place on the team, to me, that would make sense for maybe a designated player is at right wing. Because I think if we could get a big right wing, someone who could make very good and precise runs, that he could feed off Kaká, because we saw Kaká in the All-Star game, and he had players that were experienced, and they were designated players,
they knew what they were doing.
And they knew what they were doing. So no offense to Kevin Molino, I love Kevin Molino. He's probably
we just don't know how he's going to return with his ACL injury. I mean, ACL is not the damning injury it was 5-10 years ago. Thank you, medical science. But still, we play on turf. He did have a very bad ACL tear. How long has it been?
I think it was in April, so it's December now. It's been 8 months.
Yeah, so it'll be about 11 months before Molino steps on the pitch again for Orlando City. I mean, I'd love to see Molino do well. If we can grab a DP right wing, shout out to Chris. I know you love Gonzo, but that's not happening. The Sao Paulo Rowdies won't allow it.
I mean, they could have gotten out of litigation for it, and they just chose to go to litigation. So.
It was pretty much give us Gonzo, and we'll give you a little cash, and we'll avoid this whole court thing.
Or go to court, and they said, we'll go to court.
Be a bunch of bitches and go to court.
Yeah, and they wanted to go to court. So, I don't really want to speculate about who can come and who can't come, because I try to put out quality that's not... Quality information is what I build on. So I don't want to just say some stuff so people will watch this video.
Quite honestly, I don't know who the hell we would get, because I don't even know Carnero's MO. It's what is this guy looking for in a player?
And that's why we're having preseason panic. Everybody's, people are freaking out because nobody knows what's going on with the team. And, honestly, I have faith in the front office. I think that, they got a pretty good grip on what's going on, and I think they know our needs. So
I have faith in everyone except Carnero right now, because now he's director of player personnel, and he needs to prove himself. And the only player we've been linked to so far is a 20-year-old backup B-team goalkeeper.
But I mean, anybody who knows the sport or follows any other teams other than ours, anybody in Europe, the player links are just garbage. There's just so many of them. It's just, people at the Daily Mail just make up things as they wake up in the morning. So I just take the links with a grain of salt. And, even hypothetically, even if we do get the backup, that goalie,
it's he's going to play for OCB anyway.
Yeah, it's not even a threat to the first team. So I mean, you want to talk about the goalkeeper, or do you think that we're gonna?
Everyone on social media knows Gracia by now.
Yeah, so
he's been a very contentious point on.
But do you think that we're just gonna go with Earl Edwards Jr., or do you think we're gonna? You think we're going to get a goalie, a veteran, like you mentioned before, or what's your just thoughts?
I would prefer a veteran goalkeeper, but I wouldn't feel terrible going into the first game with Earl Edwards, because he has a lot of potential and he's got to show it eventually. And
I think that where the team kind of shined last year was with some of the younger players. Think about all the players that we brought in. Fair enough, it wasn't the most talented veterans and older guys, but none of them really even no one really even proved their own of the new people that we brought in, and all the young guys are all the ones who stepped up this year. Rivas ended up being good, obviously
some games.
At the end though, when we needed him, he was playing good.
When Carlos Rivas was good, he was worth that DP contract. When Carlos Rivas was bad, you wanted to gouge your eyes out with a rusty spoon.
Well, I mean, even when he was bad, at least he donated some soccer balls to the kids on OBT. I mean, right? The little kids out there needed soccer balls. So, but
we're just gonna say we scored a lot of field goals this year with Carlos.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, that's all we really got. We just wanted to talk for fun, just for a couple minutes, and a little preseason panic. I don't really have any other points you want to address. Is there anything you want to specifically talk about that we didn't talk about?
Not much, really. I mean, I'm just waiting for the season to start. Hopefully, get back out there, cheer our team. Hopefully, we get those couple new signings we need, and we're gonna need them to make the playoffs. Hopefully, we can avoid the red cards and the suspensions and the international call-ups. No Gold Cup this year, thank you. I mean, we got a lot of good pieces. We just need the depth, and we need maybe a DP defender. I mean, because I've said this before, I think Seren and Higuita are a top 3 defensive pairing in MLS, with Seren being a top 3 defensive midfielder in period. And then we got Kaká, who's obviously, he's Kaká.
And he's gonna be a year older too.
And then you had Kyle Larin score 17 goals this year as a rookie, and he only played in 26 games. And then you got Roches, who near the end of the year started to show his worth, scored 3 goals, scored that huge goal at Chicago, absolutely huge goal, 88th minute, and that's. I loved Frank Gallup's reaction. He knew he was fucked after that. He got fired after that game.
So I think, just generally, my sentiments are have faith in the team. And, obviously it's fun to speculate and it's fun to panic because we don't know the direction of the team. But, at the end of the day, we're the fans and they're the front office. And, we can make demands and ask for this and want that. But, we ultimately have no control.
I mean, in the end, it is their job to put out the quality product on the field to get us to playoffs next year, and that is the goal. We want to be in the playoffs, and we want to be hosting a playoff game, hopefully, second week.
And we were close. We almost did it.
I mean,
if it wasn't for June and August.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that 9-game, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was either. But anyways, that's all we got for you. For those of you who are watching, thank you for the watch as usual. Come the transfer window in January, you'll probably see a little bit of us. Just, if something big comes, we'll get together and talk about it.
If Zlatan comes, I'll freak out. You probably won't find me, but that's not going to happen.
No, definitely not going to happen. I don't think Orlando's big enough for Zlatan's ego.
That's my pipe dream.
So, Derick wants Zlatan. There we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you for the watch as usual. This is just a little preseason panic video, so just trying to, keep it fresh for you guys.